At precisely 2:47 a.m. on a humid August night, a convoy of armored trucks rolled through the dark outskirts of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Minutes later, a brutal ambush transformed the convoy into a smoking graveyard. 5 guards dead. No witnesses. No trace of the attackers, except a single playing card left behind. The ace of spades, soaked in blood. Within 48 hours, it became clear this wasn't a random attack. Across 3 states, law enforcement agencies were linking similar patterns: precision hits, 0 mistakes, cryptic calling cards. A name whispered through police channels like a ghost story: the Revenants, a gang unseen, unheard, until it was far too late. Special Agent Ethan Cole knew monsters. 20 years in the FBI's Violent Crimes Unit had stripped him of any illusions. But something about the Revenants was different. This wasn't just crime, he would later say. It was war, and he was stepping onto the battlefield. At the Baton Rouge crime scene, Cole's team found more than blood and bullets. Embedded deep in the asphalt, nearly invisible, was a specialized spike strip, military grade. Not the kind available to civilians. The Revenants weren't just criminals. They were trained. Cole's confidential informant dropped a name. One whispered in fear: Maddox Kane, a dishonorably discharged Special Forces operative, missing for over a decade. Somewhere in America, a man trained to kill had built an invisible army. The FBI declared it a full-scale national manhunt. Operation Revenant would become the largest domestic operation since the hunt for Eric Rudolph, the Olympic Park bomber. But from day one, the FBI found itself chasing shadows. In rural Arkansas, an abandoned police station burned to the ground, charred on the walls. A spray-painted message in crude black letters: "We are the Revenants. You can't stop the dead." Cole knew then this was psychological warfare, and the clock was ticking. Unknown to Maddox, one of his own was growing restless. Luke Barrett, low-ranking gang member, was scared. Scared of the blood. Scared of the plans Maddox whispered in secret. Luke had a secret of his own. He was considering betrayal. As Cole's team mapped every Revenant attack, a pattern emerged. A line connecting storage facilities, rail yards, power grids. It wasn't about money. Maddox was building something. But what? St. Louis, Missouri. An anonymous tip led Cole's team to a suspected Revenant safe house. SWAT surrounded the building, only to find it booby-trapped and empty. On the wall, another message: too slow. Cole's fists bled that night as he pounded the concrete. Internal Affairs flagged a discovery. Someone inside the FBI was leaking information. Someone tipping Maddox off. Trust within Cole's team began to rot, fracture, collapse. Luke Barrett, the insider, left an anonymous note at an FBI field office. One word: train yard. But was it a trap? Cole moved fast. A midnight raid at the old Bellington train yard. Explosives, gunfire, screams through the smoke. Luke Barrett emerged bleeding, hands raised. "I'll tell you everything," he gasped. "But you have no idea how big this is." Luke's confession chilled the room. Maddox wasn't after money or power. He was planning coordinated attacks on America's critical infrastructure: power grids, water supplies, hospitals. "You won't find him," Luke said. "He's already moving." Cole's team raced against time. An entire task force deployed to multiple states. Every second mattered. Every mistake would cost lives. At dawn, agents surrounded Black Hollow Dam, a crucial power source for 3 states. Revenant operatives were already there, armed, desperate, deadly. Gunfire erupted. Cole personally chased Maddox into the service tunnels beneath the dam. Cornered and wounded, Maddox smiled through bloody teeth. "You think this ends with me?" he whispered, a detonator in his hand. Cole fired first. Black Hollow Dam was saved. The Revenants scattered. Many arrested, others disappearing into the cracks. Luke Barrett entered witness protection, his conscience forever scarred. Ethan Cole stood by the ruined dam, battered and silent. The manhunt was over, but deep down he knew, you can kill a man, You can dismantle a gang, but you can never completely silence an idea. In the weeks after Black Hollow Dam, reports surfaced. Break-ins at small police departments, cyber attacks on FBI databases. Maddox was dead, but his followers, they were still out there, watching, waiting. Inside a safe house in Nevada, Luke Barrett scribbled a warning in his government-issued journal. They aren't finished. Revenants aren't an organization. They're an infection. 2 days later, his safe house alarm was tripped. Special Agent Tara Hensley, Cole's closest ally, vanished en route to a debrief in Dallas. Her car was found abandoned off a dirt road. No blood, no signs of struggle. Just a playing card wedged in the driver's seat. The Queen of Spades. Bomb threats, hospital cyber attacks, anonymous videos taunting law enforcement. The Revenants weren't collapsing. They were evolving. Digging deeper, Cole's team uncovered a horrifying truth. Several Revenants had links to corrupt private military contractors, ex-soldiers trained, funded, and left behind. Maddox hadn't built the Revenants from scratch. He'd simply harvested America's forgotten warriors. Amid the chaos, an unlikely hero emerged. Olivia Marin, a cybersecurity expert, uncovered traces of Revenant communications buried deep in the dark web. Her work gave the FBI their first lead in months, but it also put a target on her back. As a hurricane battered the Gulf Coast, Cole's team raced against both nature and time. Revenant operatives were planning a strike on a flood control center. Cole knew the stakes. Failure would drown entire towns. Inside the Bureau, betrayal ran deeper than Cole feared. Evidence revealed that Assistant Director Jameson Reed had been quietly sabotaging the investigation, under threats from Revenant cells. Under the cover of darkness, Cole met a terrified Reed at an abandoned gas station. Reed was pale, broken, desperate. "You don't understand," Reed whispered. "The Revenants aren't just criminals. They're a contingency plan." With Reed's confession, Cole launched a final, desperate operation. Operation Phoenix, a multi-state coordinated takedown of every known Revenant cell, fast, brutal, no mistakes. It would either save the country or light the match that burned it down. Before Operation Phoenix could launch, Revenant operatives struck first. A coordinated blitz against FBI field offices in 3 states. Explosions, fires, chaos rippling through the heart of federal law enforcement. Standing among the ruins of his shattered Baton Rouge office, Cole faced an unbearable truth. He wasn't winning. He was reacting, always one step behind men who no longer feared death. Cyber expert Olivia Marin vanished. Her last message to Cole was a scrambled email. "They're inside. Trust no one. Run." Cole realized too late, the Revenants weren't just infiltrating the FBI. They were dismantling it from within. Using Olivia's final clues, Cole traced the Revenants to an abandoned Cold War-era missile silo deep in the Nevada desert. A fortress underground, the Revenants' final stronghold. Cole's team entered the silo. Darkness swallowed them. Booby traps, echoes of distant footsteps. And at the bottom, a room filled with monitors broadcasting every move the FBI had made for the past 6 months. In the silo's deepest chamber, they found it. A recording left behind by Maddox Kane himself. His cold, gravelly voice filled the stale air. "America taught me how to kill. Then America threw me away. Now I teach others. I am not a man. I am an idea. And ideas never die." Revenant loyalists launched a ferocious ambush inside the silo. Close quarters, gunfire in the dark. Every second, another agent fell. Cole fought like a man with nothing left to lose. Locked in a cell deep within the silo, bruised but alive, was Olivia Marin. She had survived days of torture, refusing to give up her encryption keys. Cole carried her out, bleeding, exhausted, alive. With the data seized from the silo, the FBI uncovered hundreds of hidden Revenant cells, dormant, waiting for orders that would never come. Maddox's lieutenants were either captured or killed. The infection was finally cauterized. But even as America breathed easier, Ethan Cole could not. Friends dead, innocence lost, trust shattered. The country was safer. But Cole's soul was a battlefield he would never escape. Official statements painted a tidy picture. The revenants were neutralized. Justice prevailed. But whispers spread through FBI corridors. Too many questions unanswered. Too many bodies missing. Olivia Marin was hailed as a hero. But behind closed doors, she battled insomnia, paranoia, and the chilling knowledge. Some revenants had never been caught. And they knew her name. Special Agent Ethan Cole officially retired. In truth, he was pushed out, a symbol of a bloody chapter the Bureau wanted buried. Months later, a string of mysterious deaths swept across low-level government contractors. Poisonings, car crashes, parent suicides. Cole recognized the signs immediately. The revenants were evolving again. Cole received a package at his remote cabin. No return address. Inside, a burner phone, a simple text. "We are still here." Refusing to be a victim, Olivia launched her own secret operation, tracking dark money, monitoring encrypted forums. She wasn't just defending herself. She was hunting them. Buried in seized files, Olivia unearthed something chilling: the Revenant Doctrine, a manifesto outlining a 20-year plan to infiltrate law enforcement, media, and politics. Desperate, Olivia contacted Cole, but trust was fractured. They both knew the revenants had once turned friends into traitors. Could they even trust each other now? This wasn't about fugitives anymore. It was about ideas, corrupting, spreading, hidden inside the very institutions built to stop them. Though Maddox was dead, his influence lingered. Revenant cells cited his speeches. His face appeared on encrypted propaganda videos. Death had made Maddox immortal. Evidence surfaced linking a sitting congressman to black market arms deals. Money funneled straight into Revenant hands. The infection had reached the halls of power. Olivia decoded a timeline hidden in Revenant transmissions. A massive coordinated attack was scheduled. Date: July 4th, Independence Day. Broken and battle-scarred, Cole agreed to help Olivia. One last mission. One last chance to end it. He knew the cost. He just didn't care anymore. Using stolen credentials, Cole and Olivia slipped inside a Revenant sleeper cell in Washington, D.C. Masks, lies, one wrong move, and they would die before they could stop the plan. July 3rd, midnight. A ticking clock haunted Cole's dreams. If they failed, thousands would die, and the country would never recover. On July 3rd, Cole sat alone on a rooftop overlooking the National Mall. In the shadows, Revenant operatives moved like ghosts. He knew what tomorrow would bring: blood, fire, silence. While Cole watched the streets, Olivia hacked into the power grid's emergency override system. If they couldn't stop the Revenants with bullets, she would plunge the city into darkness. Inside the Revenant cell, Cole came face to face with an old nightmare: Jackson Voss, the former Agent Cole once trusted with his life, now a Revenant commander. Voss offered Cole a choice: walk away or die forgotten. Cole answered the only way he could: a gunshot in the dark. At exactly noon, the Revenants activated their plan. Trucks laden with explosives, sleeper agents positioned across the city. And yet, a citywide blackout, triggered by Olivia, sowed chaos among them. Cole and Olivia made their final stand beneath the towering shadow of Lincoln. Bullets tore through the heavy air, blood on white marble, freedom hanging by a thread. Amid the chaos, Cole spotted their true target, a Revenant financier known only as Monarch. Taking him down would gut the movement. But Monarch wasn't going quietly. Trapped and surrounded, Olivia handed Cole the hard drive containing the full Revenant network. "Get it out," she said. Then she turned to face the incoming Revenants, buying Cole time at the cost of her own life. The FBI stormed the city. Revenant forces collapsed. Monarch was captured, but victory tasted like ash. Too many dead. Too many secrets. At Olivia's unmarked grave, Cole whispered, "You saved them all." Then he vanished into the American wilderness, a ghost among the ruins he helped rebuild. Maddox's revenants were gone, but the fear they birthed would never die. With Monarch imprisoned and the plot stopped, America breathed easier. But behind the scenes, hundreds of agents scrambled to track the Revenant's secret backers, because Monarch was only one piece of a much larger puzzle. The FBI launched a quiet purge. Agents with ties to Revenant ideology were blacklisted, demoted, some simply disappeared. No headlines, no justice. Across the country, small extremist cells began to rise, inspired by the Revenant's message. Maddox Kane had achieved what he always wanted, to make rebellion contagious. Even after the 4th of July attack was stopped, the FBI's most wanted list grew longer. Revenant lieutenants scattered into the wilderness. They adapted. They planned. In secret corners of FBI training grounds, rookies whispered Olivia Marin's name. Some saw her as a hero. Others saw her as a cautionary tale. Captured Revenant operatives faced secret tribunals, hidden from the public eye. No juries, no reporters, just quick verdicts and quicker sentences. Rumors placed Ethan Cole deep in the Alaskan wilderness, living off the grid, haunted by the faces he couldn't save. He wasn't hiding from the Revenants anymore. He was hiding from himself. One rookie agent discovered a classified file, Project Revenant, Phase 2. It hinted that the movement wasn't just born in the underworld, but was allowed to grow by powerful interests. In a dimly lit parking garage, a nameless informant passed the rookie a flash drive. The words etched onto the metal, "Olivia was right." Inside the drive, communications between Revenant leadership and members of a clandestine political cabal. It was bigger than anyone feared. Across America, graffiti began appearing overnight. "We are many," a signal, a warning. The Bureau, under political pressure, was ordered to stand down. Officially, the Revenant threat was over. Unofficially, it had never been more dangerous. Younger, more radicalized members flooded into the Revenant ranks. They had no memories of Maddox Kane. They didn't want justice. They wanted revenge. The FBI quietly revived an ancient, unofficial directive, Ghost Protocol. Targets deemed too dangerous were eliminated off-record. No trials, no headlines. An encrypted message reached Cole's isolated cabin. "We need you." He buried the past once. Now he would have to dig it up. Cole discovered that a new Revenant leader had emerged. Cassidy Vance. Brilliant, merciless. She wasn't trying to tear America down. She was trying to replace it. Tracking Vance took Cole across abandoned railways, burned towns, and secret mountain bunkers. Every step closer brought new revelations and new betrayals. Cole uncovered the final Revenant plan. Not just an attack, a full political takeover. Every level of government, every lever of power. Cole made a pact with surviving FBI loyalists. If they couldn't beat the Revenants through official channels, they would become ghosts themselves. On a rain-soaked night in Virginia, Cole watched Cassidy Vance step onto a podium, masked behind a fake name, cheered by a crowd that didn't even know who she truly was. The final battle wasn't coming. It had already begun. Cole knew he couldn't win this alone. He slipped an encrypted message to the only person he could trust, Deputy Director Mason Trent, a survivor of the First Revenant War. Trent's reply was chillingly short. "One chance. Make it count." Infiltrating Cassidy's growing movement, Cole found an unexpected face. Agent Leah Cross, an old Bureau friend he once would have died for. Now a true believer in the Revenant cause. During a secret train convoy smuggling weapons into DC, Cole sabotaged the brakes, watching from the shadows as the train derailed in a firestorm of steel and flame. One supply line destroyed, many more to go. Cole discovered that Cassidy Vance had already bought off multiple state governors, promising them seats of power in the new republic. Democracy was bleeding out, quietly, efficiently. In a decommissioned CIA black site, Mason Trent revealed his last card, a hand-picked group of deep-cover operatives, men and women who had no official identities. Their mission was clear: burn the revenants to the ground. Cole fed Cassidy false intelligence about an FBI counterattack in Richmond. She swallowed the bait, deploying her top commanders to intercept ghosts that didn't exist. Cassidy planned her true coup during a televised rally. Senators, generals, business leaders, all would attend. Cole realized it wasn't just a rally, it was an execution. Inside the rally security detail, Cole discovered a second revenant cell he hadn't known about, loyal not to Cassidy, but to someone even darker, a hidden kingmaker who had never shown his face. Cole faced an impossible choice: stop Cassidy, or expose the greater threat behind her. Either way, people would die. During the rally, Leah Cross, his former friend turned revenant, took aim at Cole across the crowd. But at the last second, she hesitated. Instead of killing Cole, Leah swung her rifle and shot Cassidy's second-in-command through the heart. Chaos erupted. The revenant plot began unraveling in seconds. Wounded but alive, Cassidy grabbed the microphone and shouted, "This is your new world. Take it." Armed revenant agents surged toward the crowd, only to find themselves face-to-face with Trent's ghost unit. On the marble steps of the Capitol, Cole faced Cassidy Vance in a brutal hand-to-hand fight. Blood slicked the stone. Every punch was for Olivia. Every broken rib was for the future she died to save. Pinned against a column, Cassidy laughed in Cole's face. "Cut off one head, 2 more will rise." Cole's reply was simple: "Then I'll cut them all." He ended it with a single shot. The FBI uncovered troves of evidence Cassidy's network had compiled. Bribed officials, secret plans. Trials began. Some of the most powerful people in America faced public disgrace and prison. Mason Trent resigned in silence. His ghost unit scattered into the shadows again, forgotten by a country they had saved. Cole disappeared once more into the wilderness, this time with peace in his heart. Before he vanished, Cole left behind a letter, sealed in the FBI vault. *, we fought monsters, because monsters wore masks. When you no longer recognize the enemy, look in the mirror. *, stay tuned for more chilling cases on Cold Case Chronicles, where the truth is always darker than fiction. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to Cold Case Chronicles. We dive deeper into the most chilling, unsolved mysteries, and together, we uncover what was left behind. Like, share, and leave a comment below. We want to hear your thoughts. Stay vigilant. Stay curious. The truth never rests.